What's up, everybody? I just finished another Shivers book. This is The Forgotten Farmhouse. And a funny story, this is actually a book I bought off of Facebook in a group chat. There was this guy talking about Shivers books, and he had two books. He had this one and The Terrible Terror book. Both are pretty hard to find. And he gave me a good deal on them, so I was like, yeah. I was like, I don't have those two. I'll buy them from you. And he said that this was his favorite book. And he asked me quite a few times, have I read it yet? He wanted to know what I thought about it. And I was like, I'll squeeze it in, because I was like, the other books that I've read in the Shiver series are pretty short. So, this one should fly by, It did not. The first 50 pages of this book was terrible. Absolutely boring. I had trouble staying focused on this book. Around 60 or 70, we get our villains, and they are really surprising villains, and it's surprising what this guy got away with when he wrote, but it wasn't worth the build-up. There was no atmosphere, no tension. It felt like the guy was just kind of writing just to write. Like, it didn't feel like when R.L. Stine writes books like this, like sometimes there's books that he writes that the villain doesn't show up till later on in the book, and that's fine if you have a good atmosphere and you have good, like, build up to it. Like, you can't wait to see what happens next. This, I couldn't wait to see what happened next, but I kind of wanted it to happen before chapter 30. Like, it was bad. The cover, I really enjoyed the cover. I love the blood red sky and the little cowboy skeleton on a, let me see if I can get this to focus. Yeah. Little cowboy skeleton on a skeleton horse and the fire, and yeah, it's a pretty cool cover. The story starts off with this kid named Nico and his sister named Anna. They love horseback riding. That's like their favorite thing. And me, if you know me, if you follow me on Instagram, I do not like horses. Like, they're scary. I don't know, it's always been a fear of mine. But anyway, they love horseback riding, and they get to go to this like retreat thing where they get on horses and they go like for like a long distant ride, and they end up going, and they go in through the woods, and there's a tour guide, and he doesn't do a good job. He ends up losing them. And Nico stops to help this girl because she's not very experienced in riding horses and all this cool stuff. And so he stops and he helps her, and they end up getting lost. They notice this smoke stuff starts rising up, and this smoke stuff gets like so thick where they can't even see. And the horses kind of seem like they have a mind of their own. They start taking them where they want to go. And the horses end up taking them through like the back of the woods, and they end up at this farmhouse. And inside the farmhouse, Nico goes to get help. Before that, he notices that the horses actually changed. They were two black horses, I think, and they turned into big white horses. And they knock on the door, and they hear like a gunshot. And I'm not going to tell you what is at this house, but it does get pretty gory. It does get pretty intense. There's literally somebody holding a shotgun to these two kids' faces and stuff like that. So that was actually pretty shocking. We do find out why these people are like this, but we find out on the very last page. This book would have been so much better if we would have learned about this place, and then the kids like sneak off and go explore this farmhouse that they're told not to go to or something. That would have been so much better. Instead of this 50 pages of riding a horse through the mist. Like, the villain doesn't show up to like page 70. No, the villain doesn't show up to page like 80. I think the farmhouse doesn't show up to like page 70. So yeah, this is a lot of padding. This book could have been way shorter, and I just think it could have been swapped over and changed. There's so much that could have been done differently with this to make it a little bit better. This is probably the worst that I've read so far. I don't know if this or The Goat Boy was worse. I'm going to say this for right now because The Goat Boy, I was kind of intrigued a little bit more. This one, I was ready to stop reading it on page 50. It almost came to a do not finish, like a 120-page book. So, yeah. Rating-wise, I give it a 2 out of 5 stars because I was, like, the gore and stuff in this book, like what these people are, it's pretty graphic. And I can't like give it like a 1 star because of that. I mean, it was intense. Like, I do suggest somebody reading this. I'd probably skim like the first 50 pages and then go to the like where they find the people. And yeah, then because it gets good then. But yeah, yeah, The Forgotten Farmhouse, I'd give it a 2 out of 5 stars. Did you guys read this book? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you. Bye.